So, ladies and gents, turn out. So, ladies and gents, hello. How's everyone doing on this, well, rather wet and miserable Wednesday? Yeah, as you can see, guys, we do actually have some breaking news, which kind of sucks, to be honest with you, but we knew something like this was going to happen, and I'm just trying to find something now so I can get it up here and show you. But supposedly, Mr. Dan Wootton has been allowed, and he's just been let off. So it's interesting to see, you know? So this is what we are going to be... Well, get rid of this. I don't want this. I'm going to get rid of it. Right. So, supposedly, this has gone on. Mr. Wootton has actually put out a... Where is it? This one? This one? Yeah, there we go. So this is something that's coming on. So, Dan Wootton has broke silence as GB News host says he's been cleared by the Met Police. Obviously, with this at the moment, we are going to be waiting on a couple of other sources regarding this, but this is what we currently got. We actually got a statement by him as well, which he has put out, which is, it's like, yeah, come on, you know? But he says, obviously, he was part of a witch hunt, if you remember, last July, when he was like, oh, they're trying to get me. They're trying to get me. And, oh, get off that. There we go. We'll just zoom that up. There we go, so you can see it. There we go. That's better for everyone. Lynn, exactly. It seems to be the worst people always get away with stuff. But police have confirmed they will be taking no further action over criminal allegations against Dan Wootton, the TV presenter has said. In a statement issued to the Guido Fawkes website, the broadcaster, who was suspended by GB News over a separate matter in September, which is kind of funny because people on Twitter now, they're like, oh, no, he needs to be back on GBTV. Well, sorry, he was suspended on that for something completely different. Kim, it is, you know, these people always, it always happens. But, yeah, so this actual statement he issued is this, which, will this blow a few people? No. So what I will do, I will save the image. I will open up my, so where's this one going to go? Come on. No, I don't want it to open up in Photoshop. I just want it to open up in normal. Huh. Open with photos. There we go. I get rid of that. So, here we go. So this is what he put out. This is the statement. I was brought up to trust in the English legal system, to believe in freedom, due process, natural justice, and the rule of law, the right of every man or woman to a fair trial, and the presumption of innocence until proven guilty in a court of law. First of all, straight by there, he is a hypocrite. We all know this. He is one of the biggest hypocrites ever. Look at the amount of shit this man has put out via newspapers. Some of it is absolute lies, which again, people had to come forward and be like, what are you doing? This never happened. And they just go quietly into the corner, I'm not listening. But since July 2023, I was the victim of a politically motivated witch hunt through the left wing and social media led by a hard left activist, a convicted phone hacker, a convicted extortionist, and a deranged and this ex, who had done this on the record to do this and previously admitted to being a psychopath with dark urges. The accusations made against me were completely spurious, lies designed to destroy my career, where complainants were actually accused by malice. Well, 6 months on, I have now been completely cleared in 2 investigations by the Metropolitan Police and the Scottish Police, who have confirmed that they will be taking no further action. While I knew this would always be the outcome, the process is now the punishment with social media acting as the executioner. Margaret Thatcher once said that if you ever get trial by media or guilt by accusation, that day freedom dies. So first of all, we need to remember that we have seen so many things that this guy has done. He has put out so many of these, it's so many articles in this Daily Mail columns, with The Sun, with the News of the World. He has put out so many things which people have come forward with actual facts and said, this guy's lying. And what do they do when he actually has to do a little apology? They bury it, which is what they did when he was in News of the World, when they used to bury his things literally in the, I think it was like the 20th or 30th page in the bottom corner. I'm a fan, yeah. It's impossible for truth to come out of his mouth. It is, it's the way that this guy has gone and all of this, and especially with him saying that, the process is now the punishment with social media acting as this. Look at what this guy has done to people's careers. This guy has destroyed so many people's careers. And one of the funniest things is he's gone on with all of this, which it's like, right, okay, we've gone forward. And remember the evidence that Byland Times said they handed in to the police and everything else? They had stuff where people who this guy actually paid to go and sleep with someone and record them illegally. Bessie Knox, you know what? That is very true. It wouldn't surprise me if we do find things like this. That he was given... Oh yeah, just go and do this. Because it's actually kind of funny with him saying that the Scottish police... Because the Scottish police were only brought in really recently regarding everything. But yeah, obviously you've got going on... Well, where is it? Is that all of it? Yeah, all right, that's all of it. When he says at the end... She was right, it's high time that all of our ancient rights are once again upheld, chief among them, the right to be presumed innocent until found guilty in a court of law. So, with all of this then, I'm not being funny. Mr. Wootton, you need to come out and apologise for everything that you've done in the past, where you have literally done this sort of thing to people. You've got them fired, even when literally the facts were against you. When the facts were like, actually, this happened, not what Dan Wootton said. But it does absolutely suck. Seeing that this guy has gotten away with all of this it's just absolutely, it's just like, it's like, okay, I'll hold my hands up. Yeah, okay, then, the police have said they're not going to look into it any further. But the thing is, though, I really do think that he may be like, I'm untouchable. And we'll see how it goes. But obviously, we've seen people from GB News who have been fired because of what they've done. But obviously, with this now, he hasn't been fired. And when you got people who are on social media going, because we got one by here, actually. I'll have a little look now. Is it? Which one is it? I can't remember. I can't remember which one it is. No, that's not that one. That's my PlayStation. I'm going on here later. Alright, here we go. So we got this one by here where, this one I'm on about. Who thinks GB News should reinstate Dan Wootton immediately? Retreat and, raise your hand. No, sorry. But then you've got all of these, if you agree, follow. It's like, why follow you? But what are the community notes saying? Dan Wootton was suspended by GB News over his role there. See, this is it. Tweet is a question and is not stating any facts. No note needed. Yeah, no, you don't need to do that. Op asked a question which can be answered. You can see so many of these things, Hey, Kay, how's it going? But again, like this person by here now, even if they did, I think it'd be mad to go back to this poor excuse for a news channel. This person here, Alistair Campbell, they were actually like, oh no, GB News all the way. So it goes to show when something is not going their way, they kind of do that. Hey, Mammoth, how's it going? With it. But yeah, it's just so much stuff has come out regarding this. It's like, come on, what is going on? Beth now, of course, untouchable. Chase a prince and his wife out of the country, pushing the narrative. That was the furthest thing from the truth. The Queen was behind them. yeah, like I say, we've seen so many things going on with this when, excuse me, he became a Willis, Will fan, like, there's all that kind of stuff, which is absolutely insane. Give me a minute. For some unknown reason, my chat seems to be slowing down. There we go. There we go. But yeah, so the allegations, because remember, we always said there were allegations. We were all thinking what our opinion was, and to be honest with you, I still do. My opinion is that he is still this type of horrible person, to be honest with you, because we've seen what this guy has done. And he goes on about related deception and blackmail to obtain images. He always denied them. The New Zealand-born presenter Margaret Thatcher, which we did. The former tabloid journalist is known for his role in breaking the story of the withdrawal of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex from royal duties, and was named Showbiz Reporter of the Year at the British Press Awards. That's because he literally, the way he went about things, he had stuff on him, like blackmail and everything, because with this, we've had people who used to work with him come out and state this. This is one thing I can't seem to understand, is that, again, with the police, just because the police have said, yes, we're not going to look into this any further, okay, that doesn't mean he's not guilty. We have seen so many things like this where allegations, again, when you got evidence, which supposedly, we've seen a bit of this evidence now, remember, on, say, I've shown you on this channel, a lot of other people have shown it as well. It's just like, this guy's being let go, and when we saw some of the things that we saw, which was like, actually, you know what? This is actually grounds for criminal investigation, which is what happened. But then it goes by here, obviously. He was showbiz editor, News of the World, appeared on ITV's Lorraine as a showbiz correspondent, got too big for his boots, and he was let go, which we covered on this channel. He announced in 2021 he was leaving The Sun, which that woman who is now the boss, she's the one who took over, and again, she used Dan Wootton's ways against him. That's what pushed him out. This is what people have said, But then it obviously is going into that he was suspended from his role as a presenter on GB News after a row over comments made by Laurence Fox, which, yeah, so with that one there, we saw that, where Laurence Fox was saying things, Dan Wootton the next day was trying to be all high and mighty, and he was just like, oh yes, I can't believe he did this. I'm so sorry. I was so red-faced. I didn't know what to do. What did Laurence Fox go and do? He was like, okay, Danny boy, you're throwing me under the bus. I'm going to show the world what you said. And he showed the text messages between them. Dan Wootton went radio silent. So it does go to show that people do have things on Dan Wootton, but we all know as well, though, that Dan Wootton does have friends in high places. We know this. Bessie, I think Harry was the glue that kept William and Catherine grounded, and it definitely made an awesome team, all four of them. Imagine the good they could be doing now. Yeah. Okay, can't believe all this day will come, I'm sure. You know what? This is what happens. D, yeah, the justice, we know the justice system is a joke here in the UK. We know this. And when you see something like this, and especially when they actually have evidence against them, and they got people who were actually giving statements, because, where is it? Let's have a look at what he actually said regarding the person. Oh, no, I don't want to open Photoshop. Close Photoshop. We don't care about Photoshop. Is right, let's open this again. So, we have this where so he's gone on about thy innocence and all this, and he says by here, where is it? The outcome, the process, now punishment, social media acting as this, blah, blah, blah. In his actual first one, he says this about the people, Left-wing social media led by a hard-left activist, a convicted phone hacker, a convicted this, and a deranged and this X. Oh, but the thing is that the way he says this, though, oh no, they're convicted, so they're always going to do this. We do know that has always happened in the past, when people say, can you really trust them because they've been arrested before? or they've done this in the past. There is records showing them. But again, no, Dan Wootton doesn't want people to be like, oh, no, you must trust the system. He's never trusted the system. He has always abused the system, and he's used it to his advantage, because obviously friends in high places, which is what we've seen. And it's just like, come on, how is this even possible? But it goes on. He lost his job with the Daily Mail. It'll be interesting to see, actually, if the Daily Mail or whatever gives him his jobs back. But if you actually remember, he never got fired because of what was going on with the police. He was fired from the Daily Mail because of the way that he treated a woman on live air, So I think that's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. But to go by here, obviously, officers assessed all information available to establish whether any criminal offence has taken place. An investigation was commenced into these allegations. All parties involved have now been advised that no further action will be taken. There were no arrests during the investigation. But with all of that, though, folks, I do want to just say a few things, because obviously we have seen so many things go on regarding Wootton, And, wait, what got by here? I don't know who this person is, and they've tweeted me a thing of Dan Wootton being cleared. Yeah, it's kind of interesting, though. Have you noticed that the actual thing that this came out on is this. On Media Guido. This is the website that has actually come out with his exclusive. He hasn't gone anywhere else, which is kind of interesting, because obviously the way that he supposedly got all these people, his friends and everything else. Oh, Lily, how did it go? You gotta let us know, how did it go? But it goes down, obviously, summer last year. No, and the way that they go on about it here, you can tell that this is, one of his people, just because everything, the way it's written and all that. But again, he's just got that little thing by there, and his 80 comments. Have a little look, shall we? You guys still waiting for the brand, no evidence. Dan always said it was a smear campaign. Looks like the police think so too. No, they didn't. They just said that there was no criminal acts involved, that's all. Well, good, but there's a touch of Aitken at the end of his statement. It was a pile-in by the left because it didn't like him or GB News. The thing is, though, now, GB News is doing exactly what these people don't like as well. They are so hypocritical. It's unbelievable. Again, this person actually makes quite an interesting part here. How on earth can it take 5 months to find no evidence of wrongdoing? That's because they had evidence. That is why. Here we go. Go after them, Dan. Go after them. Well, violent times, they have been going on regarding a few things for all of this. So it's interesting to see that the way that you got people now is exactly how some of these people, oh, you can't do this. Sue them. Sue them. Sue them. It's the thing is, though, the violent times are the ones who went after him. We know this, and we've covered it on this channel. They've got a legal fund set up and everything else. But with everything, if he knew that he was so sure that he was going to be found not guilty or anything, why did he set up a GoFundMe for his lawyers? And why did one of his law firms say, go away, we don't want you? Lily. Oh, no. Oh, you forgot everything. Oh, no. Well, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. You'll get through it. You'll get through it. But yeah, guys, that's what it is. It is what it is. We have seen so many things like this over the last couple of years where people who get accused of things, even when there's no evidence, they get found guilty or whatever, they get cancelled. They're gone. But then you get people who have quite a lot of evidence backing up their claims, and they got people, witnesses and doing statements and everything else, but they seem to get off scot-free. It is what it is. Here in the UK, the legal system is a joke. I know that. Everyone knows that. It is what it is, you know? But yeah, like I say, my videos will stay up with him because they are in a playlist called Allegations. Because that's exactly what they were, the allegations. Might have one more interview, though, so that might not be... Oh, so you know what? Fingers crossed for your next interview. Fingers crossed. What else we got? I was going to say one thing as well. Yeah, another thing. Danny Masterson, folks. Have you all seen what's happened to him recently? So I've actually been waiting on not doing a video or anything on this at the moment because there was so many different things being said. There was so many different, my mouth's gone dry. So many different stories regarding Danny Masterson leaving one prison, going to another. And this is what's happened, folks. So, he was actually transferred from Charles Manson's old prison, which was Cochrane, and he was now transferred to, what's it called? It's something really funny, like Men's Colony, California Men's Colony, which is a minimum security prison, because there was safety concerns, and it's been updated by a few times, but we also got... by here,
last joint.
Now,
so
this
he got an emergency override.
So, let me just get the. Oh, there's no closed captions on that, so I can't see what's going on. But I'll put everything through to my headphones. But Danny Masterson, by the looks of things, folks, he was actually beaten up in prison, and that's why he was actually moved, which we kind of knew was going to happen because we did a video on this. When was it? About a week or so ago, was it? We found out. And obviously with this, it's... I got off by that. That's what I needed. Right. Right, there we go. I can hear him now as well. I can hear him as well. So, Danny Masterson. As you can see by there, it says Danny Masterson got smashed by two. I'm not going to say that there because it's going to be kind of funny. But... I saw this video and this is what we got.
It takes like 2 years clear conduct to get to this place. So how do you get that override? He got that override because they things that are on these yards, man. And so the first gang to put out a green light on this dude, and a green light is basically a hit, saying one of our guys is going to get him. They wanted to stab him and possibly clap his cheeks. It was the GBG, the Gay Boy Gangsters, right? So we had that information, we dropped that information, and some dudes inside Corcoran on their little cell phones that they're not legally allowed to have, but, you know, us felons, we be sneaky. So, you know, they paid some guards to bring in phones, and they're in there watching their YouTube, checking up, and they're like, yo, we can't let the Gay Boy Gangsters show us up, homie. So the 25ers, or the 25ers, they put out a green light on them too. And then a gang called the Green Lighters that I still don't got no information on. I haven't really looked into them. They put out a green light on him too. So we've been speculating because yesterday he got moved. He got moved to the California Men's Colony. And this is a more like lax, like easier prison. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not going to be doing as hard a time as he would at Corcoran. But you know, like they still got gang members out on that yard, bro. Like 1,000%, they still got gang members out on that yard. And they're the dropout gangs. You know what I'm saying? So we were speculating yesterday because we heard he got smashed, and that's why they moved him. They moved him on an emergency because he got smashed. He got injured.
So with that, obviously Danny Masterson, he's been beaten up in prison. And one of the things regarding it, because Aaron from... Scientology, the Growing Up in Scientology channel, he's had this one, and he also had this one by here, which is another interesting, which is Collective Clips that got, and he's gone on and he's actually stated in this what's actually happened to Danny Masterson. And what it was with Danny Masterson, they found out that he was being transferred because supposedly the prison warden, the guards and all this, they all found out that there was a green light hit on Danny Masterson. Basically, anyone who's going to do it, they're going to try and grab him and beat him up or whatever. But because of that, that's when they decided to do it. You know, they just went full on in. But we'll go back to, JD DeLay, because he does talk a little bit more about it.
Not bad enough to go to an outside hospital, so it's not like he was gonna, like, you know, you're gonna see it in the news or whatever, but he did get smashed on. So I told you guys I would come back and I would let you know when we knew who got him, right? Who got Danny Masterson? What really happened? Why exactly did he get moved on an emergency status? Because he's not even supposed to be able to go to this place. With his custody level, they had to give him an override to be able to send him to this joint because it's a more lax joint. So he got an emergency override. It takes like 2 years clear conduct to get to this place. So how do you get that override? How do you get that override? He got that override because they witnessed him being in enough danger to be able to justify it, right? So what happened was he wasn't coming out of his cell. He was hiding in his cell. He wasn't going to meals. And the word on the yard, the word on the pound is that they saw that he wasn't going to his meals. So some COs came down and they were escorting him either to the kitchen to make sure that he ate something or to medical to have him evaluated because he wasn't leaving his cell and he wasn't going to meals. Now, on the way, they're walking him down these long-ass cement hallways that they got in these prisons, and they're walking him past other inmates, bro. And if there's a green light, if there's an SOS, a smash on site, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna get dude whether there's a cop on either side of him or not, and that's exactly what happened. Now, we thought that it might have been one of those 3 different gangs that we'd heard about, and it wasn't, bro. It's a gang I've never heard of. It was the BBCs. That doesn't mean what you think it does. BBC, to me, when I heard it, Andy told me, yo, he got smashed out by 2 BBCs. I was like,
so we got that one by there. And Aaron from Aaron from growing up in Scientology, he's done a brilliant one as well on it by here. That it was confirmed, and he put it out a video last night.
The transfer day didn't add up, and he had done a video basically calling into question what had been reported.
Yeah.
And then he himself did some of his own. Has done some fantastic.
We'll just go into it now.
Here it goes, man. So Danny Masterson was already going to be moved to CMC. Guys caught wind that he was going to be moved, and he was not showing face, meaning he was not going to chow. He was not coming out for showers. He wasn't going out for rec or yard. For those of you that don't know what yard is, there's a lot of people, it's weird, that are asking me, what is yard? That means you're going out there to program, you know, to play basketball, handball, or whatever people do on the yard, workout. It is a big yard in a prison. It is considered the prison yard where everyone congregates and kind of familiarizes themselves with their fellow inmates or convicts, right? Wasn't going to that. He wasn't trying to make no line movements. So they pulled him out, 2 officers to do medical. This happened, of course, on A yard in corporate prison a few days ago. He was pulled out, and I'm going to be trying to get the paperwork so that way I can show you the incident report of who was involved and how it went down, man. Be patient. It's coming, right? So this individual, Danny Masterson, had to be pulled out for medical purposes, for medical reasoning. Now, the word on the curb was, and like I say, the information in the news travels fast within the prison system. People were of an understanding that he was going to be moved. So the video I did earlier, questioning him being moved to CMC East, that I said just doesn't happen. I was absolutely correct in saying that because it doesn't. I said they either had to think about moving him prior to this, or there was some fucking secret squirrel shit going on behind the scenes, right? Again, he was moved because they already thought, due to his safety and security concerns, whether it be YouTube content that is created and is putting it out there, whatever it may be, they caught wind that this guy was going to be assaulted or that there was definitely an imminent threat of danger to him. So they just.
So that's what happened there, folks. They, like I said, they got wind and they just decided to go, right, we're going to get him no matter what. You know, and as JD was saying in, where is it? In the last one, JD DeLay, the pastor one we just said, they're going on and they knew what was happening. They knew he was about to be moved and they were like, you know what? We're going straight in. And they didn't, like I said, you know, they don't care if there's guards, wardens or whatever. If they got Danny Masterson between them, they do not care. They went full on in. And seeing it like that, that's a bit like, oof, you know? But you know, this one by here, though, is from Deadline. This is from a couple of days ago, but it was updated last night at 8:30 my time. After a very brief turn in Charles Manson's old prison, Danny Masterson has another new home behind bars, serving out the opening months of a 30-year sentence. Good, you know? I see this by here, and I'm like, you know what? This guy, he deserves 30 to life, which he probably will get, you know, because obviously what this guy has done, what he was found guilty of, it's like, yeah, this is it, you know? Yeah, Bessie, he is sarcasm, you know, and it always is. These people, they are getting exactly what they deserve. But, you know, it does go on to say that he's been moved to the cushier digs of California Men's Colony in San Luis Obispo? Do apologize, I'm saying that wrong. Unlike the harsher conditions and even harsher residence at the Golden State's high security Cochran Strait prison, where he was, where the helter-skelter leader spent his last 2 decades before passing in late 2017. The men's colony is a medium and minimum security facility. Obviously, when you see this type of person and what he's done, and JD DeLay, you know, I've left his name and everything, same as Collective and Aaron, down in the description where you can click their name. It takes you to their channel. These people have said, you know, literally this guy, because of what he's done and how evil these actual things he's done is, he's getting all the cushy things to go in with the other monsters who have done horrible things like this. They are not actually in with the hardened criminals, which to me, I always thought is what they should be. Also, again, I know a few of you haven't actually, because I've been doing a lot of gaming streams recently, it's kind of how I want to go into. We're using the other camera again. You can see a different part of the room again now. So we're kind of bringing, you know, the collectibles back into the view. But, where I just saw it then. But sarcasm, yes, sometimes it's not good to be well known and go to prison. Someone will think, yeah, exactly. And to be honest with you, if it's someone who's quite famous, because let's face it, Danny Masterson was really well known among the comedy circuit and everything. They're going to see that and they're going to be like, he's ours. Or if you play someone hard in film or whatever and someone takes you out, they think it's going to give them props or whatever. But yeah, it's Rose. Yeah, the gangs who have done all this, they literally do not give a shit. And to be honest with you, well done to them. It's like over here in the UK where you got some of these horrible people who've done certain things like this. They end up in Broadmoor, which is a security hospital, you know, and you got things in some of these places where some of the most evil human beings ever to live, the ones who've done horrible things to kids and all that, they get cushy digs and everything. It's like, how, you know? Sarcasm. Only problem was the timing lately and I had low... that's all right. Like, say, yeah, I've been doing a lot of gaming streams recently now because it's just a bit more fun, you know? Like, say, we did, 3 years? And it was 3 years of hard work, you know? Because obviously everything that we were doing, 12, 15-hour streams, and it just took its toll. And I thought, you know what, for about a couple of months, maybe a year, just have fun and relax. Rose B, he'll probably end up, yeah, I really do think so. He can't handle this life, I'm telling you. He's not made for jail. No, he's not. Andrew, you know what? I made that joke the other day, and someone was like, who's Xenu? And I'm like, well, obviously you don't know your Scientology gods. But yeah, it's so many things going on with everything else. It's interesting to see that, obviously, with him going to jail now, and he's only spent, a month, maybe 2 months in a hard prison, and now he's going to a bloody, to a little one that can be like, oh, look at me, we're okay, we can do all of this. But looking back at this, though, and it's got by here regarding him, obviously, is he's not eligible for parole until 2042. To be honest with you, this man should not be allowed bail. he should be denied it straight away anyway, or parole, I should say. He was denied bail because he was a potential flight risk while appealing, so last month, while appealing his retrial verdict and sentencing. He will now be able to pursue more endeavours at the men's colony than just trying to stay alive. You know, it's absolutely insane. Oh, don't worry. I got all that, D. I still am making videos. Regarding all that, because obviously we've just covered the new show that's actually tonight. So I'll probably watch that tomorrow morning. And obviously that she's had people pay for a nomination for it. You know? It's... And they complain about prisons being under par, but the inmates to work. Yeah, you know? In soft prison, he might end up on someone's little girlfriend. Oh, yeah, definitely. He does seem to be that type of person. That, you know, oh, I'm going to stick to myself in a corner somewhere, and people are going to be like, you know, you're going to be mine. Because what is it? There's currently a little video going around on social media of Ving Rhames talking to a bunch of kids. And he's like, when was the last time you went to a dentist? Say, ah. And they're all going, ah. And he goes, yeah, open your mouth wider. Remember that stance. And I'm like, holy hell. You know? But yeah, he's, even in this, like, this kind of prison, I think they're going to be looking at him and being like, anyone who takes him out is going to get credit, no matter what. They're going to get, like, the, you know, the street cred, as they call it. But inmates like him who are housed in the men's colony's West facility have the opportunity. This is what I don't like. You know, again, I know they go on about if they're in prison, you change their ways and all this. Yes, understandable and all that. But the ones who are in there for decades, I don't think they should be allowed, like they're saying by here, he has the opportunity to take advantage of increased academic and career technical education. It's all okay if you want to learn stuff yourself and everything else, but if he won in prison, he wouldn't be doing that. You know, he wouldn't be spending his time doing these things. They allow people in prison, like I said, if they're in there 6, 7 years, whatever, okay, let them do it. But the ones who are in there for decades for doing horrible crimes, what are they going to do? You know, it's just that kind of thing. Andrew, he used to give me audits. I wish he would again, but that was on the outside and e-meters were different then. Oh, you know what? I saw a joke the other day when they were talking about, well, I want a joke, like a one-liner. He needs to self-audit and all this kind of stuff. I was like, oof. But it is, you know, it's Bessie. I don't want him to be unalive. I just want him to feel exactly. You know, this is why it's like when you look at obviously the DP, the you know, death penalty. It's the way that obviously some people are against it, some people are for it, and myself personally am for it, but it has to be something really horrific that they've done. You know, that they've done, like, you know, 20, 30, 40 or whatever, multiple, you know, unaliving and all this kind of stuff. That's when I'm like, yeah, they don't deserve to live. But again, no, I think of it then the other side and thinking, well, no, they deserve to be in prison and have the hate every day. You know, it's like that. It is literally like a weighted question. You know, it's like, which way is the scales going to turn? That's how I look at it. Lily, it's going to be like the man. Yeah, it is. This is what's going to happen. We're going to see certain things, and something's going to happen, and they're going to be like, oh, yeah, this guy, he's just done this to Danny Masterson. You know, that's how it's going to be. That's how I can see it. Sarcasm. Rose, yeah, exactly. He'll feel the pain and even more believe. Well, see, every single day, with this prison, I'm not familiar with this type of prison, because you got a lot of people saying it's soft. But the thing is, though, like saying, well, same person. JD, this guy.
Exactly what happened.
Obviously, the people, him and his people who he's spoken to regarding this, they're the hardened criminals, you know, they're the ones who've done, you know, like criminal things, like, you know, and they're in there. And I haven't actually heard any of them speak about this California men's colony. So it's going to be interesting to hear what they say about it. Because when they say it's like a soft prison, does that mean it's like they can just go out and do what they want? They can walk around and stuff like that? Obviously, we know about, you know, 23, 22-hour lockdown or whatever, solitary confinement and all this. But I've never actually heard about the soft prisons in America. Because again, American prisons are completely different to ones over here. Lily, yeah, I got it. Sarcasm. In Belgium, where I live, they usually don't put them in Gem Pop either. Yeah, they don't. Same here. They put them in a separate area. Prison is mostly about society taking revenge. In the case of abusers, the safety aspect is more important. Yeah. If you're in protection, that sucks too, because you're alone 24 hours a day. Yeah. He does need rewiring, restorative justice, rehabilitation, because he'll get out someday and we don't need him doubling down. Yeah. Just because the prison is soft doesn't mean the prisoners are soft. No, that's true. That's very true. But with that, though, obviously, are they going to allow people out when he's around? You know, that sort of... There's so many different questions running through my brain at the moment. It's like, how's this going to happen? How's that going to happen? Are these people going to do anything? But yeah, say, guys, I am going to end the stream now. Say, we've only come on just for a little bit, have a little chat with you all. But yeah, as you can see, we've had two major updates in the last day and a half now. Obviously, we didn't really exactly get what we wanted regarding Dan Wootton. But again, no, as people have said in the chat, he will get his comeuppance. And I really do think so. But yes, guys, thank you ever so much for coming along. And another thing as well, Danny Masterson. We will be keeping tabs on all of this going forward, though. So, guys, we will be doing this. And with this as well, shall I think I'll probably do 1 or 2 of these type of streams every week. Do you think that'll be alright? Would you guys want that? Like I say, I'll be live again tomorrow. I'll be in the afternoon, though, playing a video game. But, yeah, let me know if you want 1 or 2 of these a week, you know, these live news sort of things. And we'll see how it goes from there. But, guys, thank you very much for coming along. I know this is very quick to be, just to be thrown out there. But if you are new, like and subscribe, guys. And I'll see you all soon. Enjoy the rest of your evening, afternoon, or good morning. Bye-bye, guys.